YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. I think we have an interesting discussion. This is one I've wanted to produce for some time, and the discussion today is, do you go with a Chewlix, a Vewlix, or a Qanba 2009? This is going to be the newest and the latest product out of the three that is available for you to obtain, right? I think this makes for a great discussional talking point for us to be able to talk about the ins and the outs, the pros and the cons, what your end game might be for these three different platforms that, while look not the same, are very, very much so similar, okay? And so, yeah, we're going to produce this content. Feel free to engage. Timestamps down in the description. We're going to get it going right after this intro. All right, guys, so welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming back. As I said, if you want to support, leave a like, leave a comment. Let's have some engagement. So we're going to start off with just, having a brief discussion about, what exactly these platforms are, okay? I most recently featured some content on the channel with the Chewlix. I'm planning on doing more throughout the year, spicing it up, for the people that are into the arcade stuff. So a Chewlix is what we have here. This is going to be the platform on the left, this white and blue machine. I've customized it by way of some artwork to give it that more authentic feel. The Chewlix is a replica of what's to the right of it, which is the Vewlix. And so, yeah, it's a shell essentially. When you buy these, you will get them with a screen. Okay, typically the screen is going to be 720p, 1080p. It just really varies. And, you will get a control board that will either be singular or double. Most Chewlix that I've seen come with two. I've modified mine, and we've made a lot of content around the ins and outs and the logistics and the logic in totality behind my decision to buy one and to get it upgraded to what you see it having today, which is a PS5 inside. And we've most recently, as I said, we did a monitor upgrade 2 weeks ago, and we've got a 32-inch MSI Quantum dot OLED screen inside of this thing, 4K 240 hertz. So a lot of bells and whistles within this thing. This is definitely like upper echelon when it comes down to having one made up and done up the way that I wanted it to be. All right, so now we step over here and we'll talk about this. This is the Vewlix. So like the Chewlix, I've got artwork put onto it, and we also did some monitor modifications. We're gonna re-upgrade the monitor again. When I got both of these platforms, the first thing that I wanted to do with them was change the monitor out. So we do have a Philips Momentum monitor. It's an older monitor, a couple of years old. It does 4K at 144 hertz. And there's an Xbox Series X inside of here. I went with the Street Fighter 6 theme because this Vewlix was officially a Street Fighter 5. And so, just because of the orange base and colors that are in the Street Fighter, as you can see, I knew that this would just go well, right? And so the way that you view the Vewlix is being the original, right? And then there are different iterations of the Vewlix. This one is called an orange diamond. So there's different options out there. They're going to be more expensive, and from immediate sight of them, you're not going to see a lot of things that are different. I did make one video and I tried to compare the two. And I'd like to do that right now. So just really quick, some of the things that you'll notice, I do have these both pushed up to the wall. You'll get a little bit more height out of the Vewlix versus the Chewlix. And then these are going to be the two most noticeable things from the exterior. Going to the back, you will get a little bit more pushback on the wall with the Vewlix than you will on the Chewlix. And what I mean is that the Chewlix is going to sit off the wall a little bit more than what the Vewlix will. Okay, so those are two things that, like, from an aesthetic perspective. Now, when you dive a little bit deeper into these, the quality of the build within the Vewlix is going to be a better experience by way of the wire management, the power supply. Typically, the wires are the wires in the configuration of how the monitor is done from default is going to be a lot better in the Vewlix. Also, the Chewlix, I mean, it's just, I've seen a lot of stuff just kind of randomized. Always done good enough, but I think ultimately your executive decision to buy the Chewlix versus the Vewlix is, do you expect to customize these things? Are you going to be cutting on them? Are you looking to buy something that's going to have some integrity to what it is, right? Most people might buy the Vewlix because they're looking to be more of a purist in their collection, right? They want the original stuff. If you are looking to customize your stuff, you want to do a lot of modifications, the Vewlix is going to be the way to go. It's not only going to be cheaper, but invites you just to kind of want to cut and carve on it a little bit more. So there's kind of a breakdown of Chewlix and Vewlix. Both beautiful, both amazing platforms. I enjoy using both of them. And I've customized both of them to some degree. As I said, I did monitors on both. We kind of went all the way in with this thing, completely gutting it. Whereas with this, we added a PCB for the Xbox, retained everything that was there, and we just kind of added this interface right here just to give me a little bit more customization. So there's a volume knob here that is very helpful. Some USB-A pass-throughs, which I do have on the Chewlix also, right? We do have that because it's pretty essential to have that type of stuff, as well as I have two button layouts here. One would be for Xbox and then one would be for PC, right? So just having two platforms in this makes it a little bit more flexible for me. But yeah, we did everything that we wanted to do in this, and so got a pretty good experience there. All right, so yeah, as I said earlier, the Qanba 2009, or the 2009 from Qanba, is a platform that is very much so similar to the Chewlix and the Vewlix. Now this is, just to summarize it, a table, okay? There's a ton of accessories that I have on it to kind of customize it, and this is where this really shines out to be the better of the three. If you are interested, I believe that this use case is probably going to be one of the most optimals. That's just my opinion, okay? But I've seen a lot of people bring a lot of different use cases to life with the 2009 by Qanba, right? So just to start off for me, this is just a table, right? So you can add a few different, mounts. As you can see, I have a arm mount for my microphone. I've got an arm mount for my mirrorless camera. I've got an arm mount for my monitor also. This is also a QD OLED monitor, 32-inch, so the same size. And I put an array of different accessories on this thing to make it accessible for me. One of the opportunities I've seen people challenge with the Qanba is how comfortable would it be for you to type and use a mouse on it. It's actually very comfortable. Understanding that this is an arcade stick table, you don't really sit at it with the intentions of being able to keyboard mouse game. It does come with like cup holders on both sides, both left and right. And these cup holders will put you in a position, let me get you a little bit more light, will put you in a position where you are able to store different things there, okay? So just in all totality, what I did was at the bottom, I put my gaming PC there, so gave it some elevation. And it does have some cutouts there, even though this particular case doesn't have a power supply on the bottom. It's just full equipped. And we've got a couple of PlayStation controllers there, as I said. You've got some space on the left and right, so I'm able to put my headset and a couple other accessories. On the top, keyboard, mouse, microphone. I've got the Elgato Stream Deck that helps a lot to make it where I can just kind of get in and can control everything, right? So things like this, and this. Watch your eyes for a second. Put you in a position where I can have a full, well-lit streaming setup, so that using like my collapsible green screen, can pull this up and we can get a bit of a more professional setup. This is off for my gaming channel. Link to that is in the description. I would appreciate any support there. Trying to get it to 1,000 subscribers so I can get it monetized and get more content going. But this has been extremely helpful with the Qanba 2009, having this set up, because it's just all in purpose, super modular. The only opportunity is it does not come with wheels, but I've seen people modify this thing already to put like wheels on it so that it can be more mobile. At some point later, I'll be utilizing it with the Chewlix to do a comparison of the two QD OLED monitors that I have. But for now, it's just well set where it needs to be. So for me, you know, setting this thing up as a streaming setup is what separates it from the other two options. So what I mean is, when you look at these things, they're arcade cabinets. There's no extra room or space for you to be able to put a monitor, a separate monitor, or, you know, a camera or anything like that. There's no cutouts. And while you very much so can customize these, again, the Chewlix would probably be the one if you were going to cut anything out. Let's say if you made some kind of cutout here for your camera lens, I'm not sure that's something you could do. You know, you could definitely butcher and get some things to work. It's just not going to be a clean aesthetic. Everything is going to be external. Literally everything is going to be external. So you'd be having a camera on the side, a separate monitor on the side, all different types of things. So it's not a very inviting setup for you to be able to like create content. And believe you me, on my gaming channel, I've made content. Most of the games I've made, I pretty much just kind of set the camera on the side. And I have had people tell me that they kind of like that experience because it was like sitting at the arcade on the side of me. So you could definitely get some business going with it. But, you know, the platform itself isn't really set up for you to be able to do that. It's designed for you to just sit at and just game, right? So great experience there. But this is one of the opportunities there, and this is why I welcome the Qanba 2009 so much. I said it invites you to be able to put more of a creator setup with it. As I said, it's a table. So because it's a table, it's pretty good. Now, I have seen some other interesting concepts where people have gone as far as putting a CRT. There's one guy in the community who's put a CRT, Facebook community that is. He's put a CRT on side his Qanba. You know, definitely not my cup of tea. I feel like I wouldn't put a CRT on this thing, but you know, there's a lot possible just because this thing can hold so much weight. And so, you know, yeah, just some different ways, you know, you can look at this. These are very, very popular platforms. We talk about pricing. Your Qanba 2009 is going to come in at around $900, give or take. You're going to pay for shipping. You can get free shipping if you're patient. So that's something that you are eligible for, right? Up to 2 months of shipping time. It will be at no extra cost. So basically you'd be looking at the entire table. Obviously no monitor, no any of that stuff, but for $900 for what it gives you, it really does set you up. So for people that are into content creating, this is a very, very good option to go for. Understanding that if you don't like the buttons and the stick that comes with it, which comes with some pretty good stuff, condom is included, this is really nice. So even put you in a position to have a very silent experience if you have, you know, guests or roommates, right? So basically all you need to do is just add whatever your platform is going to be. PC out of the box. If you need to do a console, you'd be doing extra, but that cost you are going to come out of even if you're doing a Vewlix or Chewlix, so no difference there. And this is a comparison. And then a monitor and you're good to go. And if you want to add extra things like I did, you definitely can do that. So when you get down to the pricing these out, man, it really can vary. I've seen a lot of different options. I believe it comes down to, you know, catching the right person in the right situation. So number one, if you've got somebody local, maybe in your city or your state, if your city, you're super, super good, right? But if it's in your state, hey, you're still good. Maybe you can just go an hour, a couple of hours, I don't know. If it's across country, you know, this is where it gets a little bit more challenging, but it's becoming much more easier for people to get these. When I got my Chewlix, you know, the only way you could do it is if you kind of got on this wait list or whatnot and you got some stuff imported. It just seems like the market is more saturated now, so you have more options, okay? And you know, so with the Chewlix, you're probably going to come in at around anywhere from, I would say, $1,200 to $1,500, give or take, right? And when you get one, for me, my own personal taste, that was just the start because I had to gut it completely to get it how I wanted it to be. Whereas with the Vewlix, Depending on the model, you are going to be prepared to spend more money. Okay. Orange diamonds, I've seen them go for as low as like 2,000, and I mean that was really showing some love. I've seen them as high as 2,500 with nothing included. And if you're getting like the tire toe, add more costs on it. And then depending on the mileage that it has, when I say mileage, I mean like the coin utilization. Like mine is actually really low, and you know, the condition and everything could be more or less. But then you also have to assume the cost of like getting these things imported, getting it shipped to you, or freight, or however that goes. Fortunately, you know, I dealt with one of my best friends. He's an arcade purist, and so it put me in a good position. You know, he respect my wave and how I'm coming, and you know how when I came to where I live now, you know, I just kind of put on for the city, and so we've had a great relationship. So that put me in a good position to be able to get what I have at a right price, and not have to have too much stress. But you're definitely going to come out spending more for these. And if you want to take it to how I've taken it, you're going to spend a lot of money. As I said, my Chewlix at one point was valued at about $5,000 all in. But that's, of course, just modifying and putting the different types of equipment and such in there. So just brace yourself on either of these platforms. So bring you guys some conclusions. You can't go wrong either way, be it you go with the Qanba 2009. As I said, I just think that in totality, this offers you the most bit of customization. It automatically sets you up for what you should expect from something like this, and it's readily accessible. It's brand new. The Chewlix and the Vewlix, 98% you're going to get a used unit, which is not a problem. But if you want something brand new, if you want to be the one that breaks it in, definitely go this option. It's cheaper. You probably already have a monitor, a TV, and some extra peripherals that you might want to add to this, especially if you are in the space of content creating. This is actually going to set you up for being a productivity tool. If you slide on over to going the route of the Vewlix and the Chewlix, you know, these are more collector pieces. Okay, you're going to get most people that are going to buy these, and they're going to collect a lot of dust. I happen to use mine a lot. I do. I actually play on mine a lot. And so I've got the console set up in them. So even if I have my, you know, young son wanting to play one of the consoles, he's going to pull up to it. He's playing Resident Evil last night. I digress. You know, prepare to have space for these things, and to assume that cost and the time and the investment it is going to take for you to get it how you want it to get it. Ask for a lot of pictures. This is a tip. You want a lot of pictures with this. You want pictures, you want videos, you want a lot. If you're buying one of these used, you want to take a look and inspect everything that you would expect. You want detailed photos. You want to know the monitor, what it's looking like. You want to see what the power supply looks like. You want to see if there's keys for the doors. Whatever you expect, inspect it. Inspect what you expect when you buy one of these. Otherwise, don't make the investment at all. If the person that you're buying it from is not willing to offer you the content for you to be able to make an intelligent purchase, then don't do business with them. That's just what you're getting into anytime you're buying something used from someone. But if you go into it with the mindset that you're going to gut it, go the Chewlix route, you'll be fine. But this is what we got. Let me know what you guys think about this video. If you like this content, if you found it entertaining, helpful at all, I just wanted to do a comparison of these platforms versus the other. And I guess I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace, God bless, and as I always say, max love.